you'll see how incredibly unused this particular car is. Something I thought was really cool is, do you see this light? I have this decibel meter that will tell us how loud this car is from the inside. All right, I'm down here in beautiful Alameda, California, right off Park Street, the main road. I'm here at Diamond Auto Sales, about to drive a Mercedes S500. This is a cult classic. It's a 1995, and there's a lot of variations on the motors, the body style, but they're all W140s. I can't wait. Welcome to Guy's Garage, and this is a 1995 Mercedes S500. Look at this thing. 72,500 miles on this thing. It is incredible. I mean, look at this car. I just drove it here and I feel like royalty. I feel like I shouldn't even be allowed to drive this thing. It is beautiful. I've never driven one of this year. I drove a 2005 version and it was completely different. This car is beautiful. This happens to be a V8. They sold these cars with V6, V8, and V12 options. The body style is from 1991 to 1998, and this happens to be a 1995. So right in the mid-cycle of this body style. This is, of course, a sedan. They also came in a coupe. But how many dignitaries, how many TV shows, how many movies did you see this car used? It's iconic. It's the flagship Mercedes for 1995. It's incredible. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you around this thing and show you what its features are and how young it is. You'll see how incredibly unused this particular car is. It actually exists out here in Alameda, California. Here are some of the features of this car. Automatic retracting trunk handle, double glazed thermopane type side glass. This is double pane, like your new house today. This glass is double pane. Dual eccentric sweep windshield wipers with heated washer system. It heats the water before it hits the windshield. Dual heated electric remote outside rearview mirrors. Everything on this car is electric and memory remembered. Everything is automated. Halogen headlamps, pop-up reversing guides, rear fog lamp. The pop-up reversing guides are these little poles that stick up to show you where the end of your car is. Maybe you would actually use them. Tinted glass, all the windows, all season tires. Generic sun moonroof. That's what the stats say. Generic. Nothing about this car is generic. Auto dimming rearview mirror. The rearview mirror actually oscillates via a motor. It moves with a switch. All right, enough talking about this car. I'm going to bring you inside and show you around. All right, the first thing I want to show you on this car is the backside. You can see, look at those taillights. They're flush mounted. Absolutely beautiful. You can see here's the badging, and if you want to open the trunk, you've got to push, and this little handle pops out. Look at this handle. That way you don't have to dirty up your paint after you just washed your S500, which actually this has just been washed. You can see some of my gear in here. Of course, you've got your spare tire in the bottom, but just the quality. Everything is covered, fully thought through. For luxury. 8-spoke aluminum wheels. There we go. So you can see here these double pane windows. They're actually meshed together. There's this black stripe going around, and that's for obviously noise and vibration reduction. This was the smartest car you could buy for its time. You've got headlights that have their own windshield wipers. Look at the color of this car. Something I thought was really cool is, do you see this light right here? When it is red, that means it's locking. And when it's green, that means it's open. I mean, it's just almost perfect. Let's hear the door as it closes. Solid. Self-closing doors, if you notice. Here's the back of this beast. Look how much legroom this thing has. There's a shot of the ceiling. Everything is covered. There's no exposed bolts. There's no exposed hinges, really. There's just all suede. Look at this burl wood. Absolutely beautiful. You've got bunched leather. You've got reclining rear seat. It doesn't recline much, but it does recline. And then back here, you've got a cup holder. Something for your cell phone, even though there wasn't a cell phone back then. You've got your first aid kit, just in case you get a scratch. The passengers have their own mirrors with vanity lights. Just to give you an idea of how large this is, I'm gonna go in there. I'm 6'1". Look how much room I have. All right, moving on to the dash. Look at this. Even the light switch is sturdy. I mean, you feel like you could be engaging some sort of nuclear missile with this knob. It's incredibly sturdy. 3 memory buttons, burl wood on the front. That's for your lumbar. You can see the lumbar pops out. I love a good lumbar support. I'm gonna jump in and give you a really close view of this dash. Here's your cell phone, cigarette lighter. You've got a phone, just in case you want to call somebody. Look at this. This has barely been used at all. 1995. This is the year Michael Jordan went back to the NBA. This is the year the Oklahoma City bombing. 1995 was the year that Windows 95 came out. Do you remember Windows 95? I do. I remember Windows 95. It was an incredible piece of technology. Everybody was so interested in the games and the interactivity, the ease of use. And to think that in 1995 this car came out, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And there's the glove box. You've got inside your glove box a single cup holder that feels like it would barely hold even a small at a coffee shop. Of course, the passenger also, they spared no expense. This feels like a spaceship, and I'm sure in 1995 it's absolutely massive. I love that the cover closes with the glass. I mean, everything is so solid. You've got an airbag for the driver, an airbag for the passenger. Let's go ahead and open up the hood. Here's the V8. Mercedes Benz. Just in case you were wondering, battery in the trunk. It actually has 3 latches, or 2 main latches just for the hood. Most cars have one in the center. This one has 2. The starting price of this car in 1995, the MSRP was $87,500. It equates to about $166,000 today. So yeah, this car was out of many people's range. It was definitely a special car. One of the things you'll notice on the back here is you can barely see the defroster. They thought about everything. So many cars you can see this really thick line, and this car it's almost completely invisible. One of the things I wanted to show you is when you When you push this down, this is the right mirror, and this is the left mirror. This is the rear view mirror. It's powered. It makes an odd noise, probably because people have tried to adjust it manually. Look at all these switches. You've got your hazard, HVAC controls, your radio, dual heated seats, power windows. You can actually move the headrest back there up and down to have those not obstruct your view. Wow. I can see why you'd want them down. I mean, how many motors are in this thing? This was way before all those kids' toys had motors, and pretty much everything has a battery and a motor in it now. You can hear that V8 ring to life. One of the cool things about this front seat is the top moves independently of the bottom with this right here. We're back in the car. All right, here we are for the drive test. This thing's incredible. You can just feel how well it's made. All right, I'm gonna try to explain to you how this feels. Gas pedal is really, really heavy. This is royalty. This is so cool. Oh my goodness. I've driven a like 2005 S when I was valet in Dallas, Texas, and that was a lot more techy. Woo! I mean, it kind of feels like you're driving a limo, how long it is. And of course, the torque is just insane. And there's not a chip in this windshield. I mean, it's almost mint. Wow! This is crazy. I honestly want to buy this thing. I'm driving around a Nissan Leaf, and you know, it makes sense why dignitaries and heads of state and CEOs and you name it bought this, because it's a moving house. It's got everything you need, and it just envelops you in luxury. I mean, in 1995, this was the top of the top, and even today, I'm like, I want this. The gas mileage, I'll probably put it in later right here, but it probably isn't very good, is it? It's probably 12 miles per gallon. It's, you know, you can feel the road. It's not removed from the road. It actually does feel like you're driving a car, not a boat. It handles, I mean, it's slow to turn. You know, the clicking and things of the turn signal isn't a click I would have chosen, but it just, everything about this car is quality. They attention to detail at every level. I got a bumpy parking lot here. Let's see how it handles. I mean, yeah, it's hitting the bumps, and it's not uncomfortable, but it's also not floating over the bumps. It's really a perfect blend. Yeah, it's large, but it's not bulky. Let's see. And I love driving something that's been just cleaned. I don't know how many of you clean your cars weekly, but there was a time when I would clean my car twice a week. I mean, everything had to be perfect. I had to wax it. If I saw dust, I had to clean it. I love when cars are clean and there's not a lot of trash, you know, rolling around on the floor. I just think it's so much fun. So that's why I love driving cars that aren't mine, because they've got nothing in them. It's the pure driving experience. That's really what BMW claims, but I think you can get a pure driving experience from any vehicle. If you clean it, if you take care of your car, if it's running properly, you can really get a lot of enjoyment out of any car. You don't have to have an S500 to enjoy a car. But it sure is fun to have one of these. $320 horsepower doesn't sound like very much, but it's plenty of horsepower. There's no dash lights to speak of. I really like the fact that there's no touchscreen in here. You know, touchscreens are everywhere now. Pretty much every car that you buy has a touchscreen, but I just like the purity of real buttons and lights, and I don't know, in some ways it almost makes you feel like it's more expensive. I turned off the air conditioning just because I wanted to hear the engine, and it's definitely worth it. I have this decibel meter that will tell us how loud this car is from the inside. We'll turn everything off. Ready? Here we go. It's extremely quiet, I'll tell you. All right, we're sitting over here idling. Let me get a shot so you can hear the exhaust. You can see the gas pedal. Look at the funky design. On the bottom there, it's actually attached to the floor. That's why the gas pedal is so hard to push, because it's connected on the top and the bottom. Okay, thanks for watching my video. Guys Garage, make sure you subscribe and like. I am very excited to feature all kinds of different vehicles. Make sure you subscribe and like though, because you're gonna miss out. This is gonna be awesome. I'll see you next time. Later.